Hey there crew, it's Mark, and in today's video, we're checking out the brand new color, Yellow 24 from bulletjournal.com. But more importantly, we're gonna be taking the pocket notebook today, and I'm gonna show you how I created a gaming journal for myself. Just a real quick overview for you. The A5 notebooks have 120 GSM paper inside of the notebooks, and I'm loving this detail. The yellow follows through this whole notebook, so all the line spacings here in the front are all in yellow and gold, which are super cool. In the back, you have additional features, but the coolest part is basically how to bullet journal, an entire guide that you can keep with you as you're using it. We have our page numbers, we have our smart guides that are on here as well. This notebook really has everything you need, especially if you want to get started with bullet journaling, if you have them before, or if you're an old pro like me. They're just good go-to notebooks. Bullet Journal put out their pocket notebook earlier this year, which is super exciting to see. We did a full review of that, and I'll link that down in the descriptions for you. What's interesting about this pocket notebook is the expectation is to use it vertically, opening it this way instead of horizontally like you would a regular notebook. This open pocket notebook is the same size as an A5 sheet of paper inside of a regular bullet journal. You've got page numbers, you have smart guides inside of here. It really is super versatile. It's so versatile, you can really use it for anything: bullet journaling, note-taking, gaming journal. One thing to mention is while I'm using this specifically for Diablo 4, you can customize and use this notebook for any type of game that you're playing: console, PC, analog, board game, anything in the world. It's really gonna be up to you and thinking about how you would utilize this notebook. Customizing this notebook was the first thing that I thought of when I saw this. The yellow color was so bright, and specifically in Diablo, you've got this red and fiery kind of hellscape that's going on. Now, one of the main and iconic characters is Lilith, so I don't feel like you can have a Diablo game without this figure. So I printed out a silhouette that I found online, and what I'm doing is just taking a pencil and pressing down pretty hard to basically transfer these lines onto the cover of the notebook. You can see where those impressions are. So now what I can do is take a Sharpie marker, and I'm gonna go ahead and just outline this entire character. I'm an okay artist, but I'm not great at characters on the fly, so this was a lot easier. So again, customize this notebook however you want to. I filled out the entire silhouette in black with Sharpie, and then I went back over with some different inks that I have to create this hellscape look in the background. I got a little messy, got my hands in here smeared around the ink. I also have these semi-permanent whiteboard markers. They're called tacky, and what's cool is I can just put them on the page and then go ahead and smear that red all around. It gives that really cool, hellish hellscape that I'm looking for the theme of this game. We're gonna go ahead and get a little bit geeky right now about Diablo 4, and I'm just gonna share with you how I've been using this notebook to help me play this game as a relatively newer player. But this could translate to any type of game that you're playing, whether it's online, PC, analog. You're playing Dungeons and Dragons, you're building your characters, taking down notes, wins and losses. It's a great idea for a gaming journal. As a newer player to this game, I can never remember what I need to summon which enemies. So in the back of this notebook, I went ahead and set up a summoning materials list. The easy guides on the pages help me create 3 columns really quickly. And then all I'm doing is just labeling each of those. So I have the material that I'm specifically looking for, I'm having where I can find that material, and then the boss that that's related to. There are so many different types of summoning materials and who they were for. There's no way that I was remembering that easily. So this is just a really great resource page for myself. One of the main reasons that I created this gaming journal is that as I'm building new characters and have tasks and things I need to do, I was just writing them down on like post-it notes all over the place. That's not smart. So this gaming journal helps me both understand what I need to find in the gear as well as the tasks that I need to do. So on this page right now, I'm specifically building out a specific rogue build that needs specific gear. So what I've done is I've just set up a list of things that I needed to look for, really. So on the top left is the gear. These are specific things that I needed for this character, and as I found them, I just crossed them out. Over on the right-hand side, I have some mythic gear that I'm just keeping my eye open for. Not the easiest things to find necessarily, but if I do, I can easily look at this and be like, oh yeah, I need that. I think more than anything, it's just that I'm not as familiar with this game. My buddy Chris got me into this. Love him for all the things he gets me into, but he's been playing this game since the very beginning. Diablo 1, I'm assuming. I'm just brand new to it, 6 months old, and I don't know the names of all this gear or really how it works. So anytime he's giving me notes, I'm like writing these things down and trying to remember what I need. The other thing is that I need specific aspects on my gear, and there are so many different ones that do so many different things. So what I did is I actually wrote down the aspects that I needed and then what I'm attaching those aspects to. The big thing for me is that as I'm upgrading these aspects and maybe finding better gear, I know what the aspect needs to be attached to. And I'll set a note for myself in just a moment. You'll see that when I need to upgrade those. I also have some of the specific skills that I'm looking for, so if those just happen to be on some weapons, that's awesome. I've also jotted down some of the glyphs that I need, so these are upgrades, the things again that are making my character better, and every time I'm getting those to the max upgrades, I'm going and crossing those off too. Because I'm such an avid bullet journaler, I can't help but to use the same signifiers and indicators that I'm using in my system there. And I've brought that over into my gaming journal as well. So as things are going throughout the game, in this case, when I had to rebuild my character, I had to reset all my skills. I had to reset my Paragon board. I needed to find a new bow. So those were the tasks that I needed to accomplish first. And then as I did each of those, I crossed them out. These are just two ideas on how you can use a gaming journal for yourself, and I'm going to continue to use this season after season. There's a bunch of new updates coming to Diablo, which I'm definitely going to need to take notes on to help remind myself about. But if you have other ideas or maybe a gaming journal of your own that you use, I would love to hear from you down in the comments section below. And let me know what you're using your gaming journal for, or if you don't have one, what would you use a gaming journal for? We love sharing ideas. Now, if you're not familiar with bullet journaling, and we did tap on that a little bit, I have a 15-minute easy setup video for you right here that you can check out to get into the game. Well, bullet journaling game anyway. Crew, I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for hanging out. See ya.